Well, what a month May was. I'm Shane Dennis from First National Cairns Central and Cairns Beaches, and we're here to unwrap the craziness of what's been happening recently and try and make some sense of what is happening out there, not only in the world of real estate, but in general, trying to provide some info that will help you in your real estate journey. So, where do we start? First and foremost is that my colleagues and myself from First National Australia and New Zealand have just come back from a conference in Bangkok to find ourselves with a brand new Prime Minister. Now, I just want to mention here that First National was the first international convention to land in Thailand since they came out of lockdown on May 1st. And may I say what a privilege it was to be a part of that experience. Thank you to the Thai people who, by the way, seem to have happiness etched into their DNA, and they've really been struggling massively since COVID. They haven't had any government handouts, nor have they been able to stop paying rent or the likes of that. I have no idea how they managed to survive, but they did, and they welcomed us with open arms. So, back to the new PM. Hopefully we'll see some follow through on the promises that we've heard about with the shortage of housing and the plans in place to increase the supply. I've said this before, we can't expect private industry to stand up and build fast, affordable housing. That is a government responsibility to give its citizens the basic right to housing. This is what we pay them for. Now, with world supply chains and inflation being serious issues, this will not be fixed easily. You just have to look at New Zealand. Their interest rates have climbed by over 2% in the last year or so, and we will see interest rates continue to increase. And the question is, what does this mean for the housing market? And with the historical data that we've looked at, it suggests that house prices will continue to climb even as interest rates do. Remember, when inflation happens, your property is increasing in price as well. And as long as you can manage that with financial safeguards imposed by the banks and by yourself by not overcommitting, then you should be able to benefit from it. Reading through some of the reports in the past week have reminded me again of the doomsayers who came out at the start of the pandemic and said property prices were going to fall by up to 40%. Never once did they anticipate a property boom. Well, now the CBA is reporting that capital city prices are going to dive in 2023. And while this may be a sensationalist grabbing headline, the very next report from the REIQ says that Queensland is not going to follow the southern states anytime soon. I seem to think that we're somewhere in between that. The reality is that we can only report what is happening on the ground here in Far North Queensland, and the facts are low stocks and high buyer demands are still driving our local market, even if migration from the south has started to slow down. Well, that's it for now, folks. If you throw in Sweden and Finland wanting to join NATO and monkeypox, and the last few weeks have had us all thinking like doomsday preppers. So see you next time for some positive thoughts on which marketing options might be best for you.